Alright, I want to provide some of the answers on how to do the homework for sections 3-2. It's found on page 137 of your textbook, and these are the answers so you can check your work. Okay, number one, they want to know which lines or segments are parallel and justify your answer. I can see that this angle right here is marked, and this angle right here is marked. These are corresponding angles. So this is the transversal, which connects them, which means this line here and this line here must be parallel. So the lines that are parallel, I think this is a letter E, would be line BE, must be parallel to line CG, and the reason is converse of corresponding angles. And I'm done. Okay, number two, same thing. Here's my angle. Here's my other angle. This is the line that connects them. This is my transversal. So the lines that I'm dealing with are these lines here and here. It's line CA. Would have to be parallel to line HR. Reason, these angles are called, again, corresponding angles. So this is converse of corresponding angles. Is the reason why these are parallel. Okay, number three. They tell me some information here. They tell me angle J, which is this angle right here, plus angle L, which is this angle right here, add up to equal 180. So this angle and this angle are connected. We use red. These angles are the angles I'm working with. And again, the transversal, the line that connects them, is right here. Well, these are called same-side interior angles, and as long as they are supplementary, which they are, then the lines are parallel. What are my parallel lines? Well, my parallel lines are this line right here, JO. Must be parallel to this line right here, LM. And how do I know? Converse of same side interior angle theorem. Okay, number four. What's marked is angle P. What's marked is angle T. I'm going to identify which one is my transversal. This is my transversal, the one that connects them, which means these red lines, PQ, must be parallel to this line, ST. How do I know? These are called alternate interior angles. So it's converse of alternate interior angle theorem. Alright, that takes care of numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's go on. We're going to use some algebra now. Find the value of x for which these lines have to be parallel. Again, these are the angles I'm given to work with. This is my transversal. These are called corresponding angles. So if corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. So these angles would have to be congruent or equal. So 55 would have to equal x plus 25. Solving, I'm going to subtract 25. X would have to equal, 5 take away 5 is 0, 5 take away 2 is 3. If x is 30, then I have my answer. Number 6. This angle is marked. This angle is marked. This is my transversal. These are alternate interior angles. If alternate interior angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. So again, I have to set these angles congruent or equal to each other. So 95 has to equal 2x minus 5. And I'm going to solve this by adding 5. 100 equals 2x divided by 2 x equals 50. Number 7, I'm going to mark this angle. This is the line that connects them. This is my transversal. I notice that these angles are on the outside. They're not between the lines. Don't forget these angles. This is the interior angles, and they're not in there. They're exterior angles, and they're opposite sides. They're on alternate sides of the transversal. So these are called alternate exterior angles. And so if alternate exterior angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. So these angles have to be congruent to one another or equal. So I'm going to set 3x minus 33 equal to 2x plus 26, and I'm going to solve. Subtract 2x, x minus 33 equals 26, add 33, x equals 59, and I'm done with my answer. Okay, 8 is a little more complicated. Remember, I want L right here to be parallel to M. They threw in this extra line just to confuse you. Don't let it confuse you. Here's my transversal. I'm dealing with this angle right here. I'll do it in green so we can see it. This angle right here is given to us, and this angle right here is also given to us. Those are not any type of special angles. There has to be a relationship. Well, we're going to make a relationship. These angles, this angle is going to make a bow tie with this angle. So no matter what, this also has to be 105 degrees. And now I can see a relationship. I got this letter U, which means these are now same side interior angles. And if same side interior angles are supplementary, then the lines are parallel. These angles have to be supplementary, which means they have to add up to 180. So let me extend this down a little bit. So I know, I'm going to do my work right here, 105 plus 3x minus 18 has to equal 180. I'm going to combine my like terms. Get a calculator. 105 take away 18. It's 87. Subtract 87. Get 93. Divided by 3, x would have to equal 31. Okay, you're done with numbers 1 through 8. Okay, next. Directions say, using the given information, which lines, if any, can you conclude are parallel? Justify each conclusion with a theorem or postulate. So we're going to look at the pictures, very much like similar to your worksheet. I'm looking at angle 2 and 3. Angle 2 and angle 3 for number 10. These are called same side interior angles. So this is my transversal, which would make these angles, these lines, parallel. Line A and line B. So I would say A would have to be parallel to B. Reason why? Converse of same side interior angle theorem. Alright, skip down to number 12. 1 is supplementary to 4. Let me erase this. Angle 1, angle 4. Again, this is my transversal. So, same lines. A is going to be parallel to B. Okay. What's the reason why this time? This angle 1 and this angle 4 are called same side exterior angles. So this is converse of same side exterior angles is the reason why these lines are parallel. Okay, number 14. Erase my ink. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. We're going to find angle 1, angle 3. This is my transversal. Looks like the letter F because these angles are called corresponding angles and they are congruent. So if corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. So I know A is parallel to B because of the converse of corresponding angles. And number 18, angle 1 and angle 8. Angle 1, angle 8. This is my connecting transversal. This angle and this angle are opposite sides of the transversal. One's on the right, one's on the left. And they are on the outside of the angles. And what I mean by that is those are interior, so they're on the outside. So these are called alternate exterior angles. So line A is parallel to B because of the converse of the alternate exterior angle theorem. Okay, last one is number 20. Erase this. Angle 11 and angle 7. I've got to find angle 11 to find angle 7. Man, I don't even have a line that connects them. There's no line that connects them. B doesn't touch. L doesn't touch. No line connects them. So I cannot make a conclusion. So no conclusion is possible. I don't even have a transversal. Yeah, that's too bad. I can't connect them. Okay, that's it for those problems. Let's talk about number 24. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean for that to happen. Go back this way. Okay, number 24. Find the value of x for which line L is parallel to line M. Again, you got all these confusing lines. Here's L, and here's M. And I want to find a transversal that touches these angles. So here's this angle. So I'm going to focus on this angle right here. I'm going to focus on this angle right here. Okay, they're not special angles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them special by, again, making my little bow tie. Don't forget about your bow ties, your vertical angles. So if this angle is 19x, this angle right here is also 19x because vertical angles are congruent. This helps me because now I have some same side interior angles. And if these lines are going to be parallel, then same side interior angles have to be supplementary. So I would say that 19x plus, I think that's a 7x. Let me look at your book. I'm sorry, guys. I can't read the problem on my board. 17x would have to equal 180 degrees. So this is equal to 36x equals 180, and 180 divided by 36 is equal to 5. So x must equal 5 in order for that to occur. Okay, problem number 28. Determine the value of x for which r has to be parallel to s. Then find angle 1 and angle 2. So first of all, angle 1 and angle 2 are called corresponding angles. And if the lines are going to be parallel, the corresponding angles have to be congruent. So I'm going to set these equal to each other. So 80 minus x has to equal 90 minus 2x. And I'm going to solve. I'm going to add 2x to both sides. 80 plus x equals 90, and subtract 80 from 90, x must equal 10. So determine the value of x. X equals 10. Done. Now I got to plug it in to find the angles. So the measure of angle 1 is equal to 80 minus 10. So the measure of angle 1 equals 70. The measure of angle 2 equals 90 minus 2 times 10. 90 take away 20. The measure of angle 2 also equals 70. That's good because they're supposed to be equal. Alright, I'm done with number 28. Last problems, 46, 47, 48, and 49. 46. Let me erase this so I can read it. If A, B, C, and D are coplanar lines, and A is parallel to B, B is perpendicular to C, and C is parallel to D, then what statement must be true? Man, that's confusing. I have to draw a picture to understand this. So I'm going to draw a picture. I'm going to start with this. A is parallel to B. Okay, this is A, and this is B. Okay, got that. B has to be perpendicular to C. Don't forget, B perpendicular means meet to form right angles. This is a symbol for perpendicular. So I'm going to just draw C. So it forms a 90-degree angle with B. Okay, got this. C is parallel to D. So I have to make these lines parallel. So this has to be D. Alright, so I know these lines are parallel. And I know these lines are parallel. Okay, that's what I know. Now I can answer the question. Is D perpendicular, letter A, is D perpendicular to C? D perpendicular to C? No, they're parallel. Is C parallel to A? C parallel to A? No, they intersect right here. Is D perpendicular to A? Maybe. What's that mean? Is this a 90-degree angle? Perhaps. Let's find D. Letter D. Is D parallel to B? No, they intersect right here. That's my answer. Those have to be perpendicular lines. Alright, number 47. Use the diagram. For what value of x is C parallel to D? Okay, I gotta find C. Gotta find D. I have to find a line that intersects both. I'm dealing with this marked angle and this marked angle. Those are corresponding angles. If corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. So these angles must be equal. Subtract x. X equals 21. Alright, x has to be 21. There's my answer. Number 48. If C is parallel to D, what's the measure of angle 1? Alright, here's angle 1. This is a transversal that touches angle 1. This is angle 1 right here. How does this angle relate to it? Well, I'm going to make my bow tie. Remember, vertical angles are congruent, and that forms a special pair of angles. These angles are supplementary angles. So 180 take away 136, is equal to, my calculator, 180 minus 136 is equal to 44 degrees. So it would have to be 44 degrees. B. Okay, number 49. Suppose A is parallel to B in the diagram above. Write and solve an equation to find the value of x. If A is parallel to B. Okay, let me erase the ink that we have. I want A to be parallel to B. And what I have right now is this transversal connects this angle with this one. These are not equal angles, but what I do know that if these lines are going to be parallel, this has to transfer over because corresponding angles would have to be congruent, and that gives me a protractor, a linear pair, which means these angles would have to add up to equal 180. So for letter A, 136 would plus x plus 21 would have to equal 180. Alright, let's solve this. 136 plus 21, I have to add my like terms. X plus 157 would have to equal 180, and subtracting 157, extend this out, get my picture back in. Okay, subtract 10 take away 7 is 3, 7 take away 5 is 2, that's it. X would have to be 23. Write and solve an equation to find whether C is parallel to D. To find out if C is parallel to D. Well, if that's the case, if C is going to be parallel to D, I would need to have this angle right here equal to this angle right here. And if we know x is 23, then I would need, it says write and solve an equation, I would need to know that x plus 21 would have to equal 2x if C is going to be parallel to D. And we already solved this equation and the other problem. (21) would have to be x, and the reason is the converse of the corresponding angle postulate. That's how you explain your answer. Okay, you guys, I hope this helped you. You all have a good night. All right? Bye.